morning, good evening. Give me a second, everybody. Yeah, good morning. All right, are we live? Yes, we are, right? All right. Hello, good morning. One more minute. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Yeah, YouTube says 1 more minute maybe. Let's start, right? Should we wait for one? Yeah, we moved from the Darwinex website to this Kosta Capital, right? Okay, let's start. This is our first class, yes. I know some of you went from the other YouTube channel, right? We are migrating, you know. We are joining the forces. Yeah, it's going to take some time to go back to from the manual, right? From the manual is the manual Forex mindset. From the manual, we are back to, we were at lesson 18, right? From the manual, we were on lesson 18. So we're back to lesson 1, 18. What is support, resistance, pivot points? Okay. Yeah, it's going to be better, I believe. You can relearn, right? You can relearn and rewatch. Alright, should we start? All good? 1 minute? Okay, everybody, can you type in the chat, please, that you can hear my voice and see my screen? YouTubers too. I have two softwares, right? Two streaming softwares. Is anybody on YouTube? Can type in the chat like, yeah, I can hear your voice and see your screen. So we can move forward. I'm not sure Olga is here, Shantana is here. Alexander is here. Mo, are you here, Mo? Okay, alright. Can we start? Alright, everybody, so one more time again, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. My name is Mike and I'm looking for traders. Okay, welcome to the Forex course 101. Okay, I'm going to be your tutor, your coach, your teacher for the next 10 to 12 months. And remember, everybody, trading is a learnable skill. When you learn in the correct way, the goal is to bring you from zero to a millionaire trader in potentially in 3 years on average in an institutional way. Alright, so reality check. You're not going to become a millionaire trader in 1 week, you know, not in 1 month, so not even in 1 year, but it takes time, right? Okay, learning how to trade, it's like a university. Okay, so like you're not going to become a brain surgeon, right, in 1 year or 2 years, you know. It takes time, right? 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, whatever. And remember, trading it's considered in the, you know, when you're talking about professions, trading it's considered the ultimate mind game. Alright, so more about this in the Forex course to everybody. Okay, now for the ones who are new, you know, we say, okay, learn in an institutional way. What does this mean? You start in the Forex course 101, everybody. Okay, Forex course 101, it's all about the market, how this market works. So you start out as an analyst. Okay, ouch, this hurts, right? Oh, but I believe I'm a trader. You're not a trader yet, you know. A trader is another animal if you want, but you know, in an institutional approach is, you know, you can knock the door on Darwinex, you can knock on the door of Dukascope Investment Bank, you can knock on the door on JP Morgan Chase, whatever. You know, you start as an analyst first. Does this make sense? You start out as a junior analyst, and then with time you become a senior analyst, and through time they're going to offer to become maybe a portfolio manager, a trader, or whatever, you know, whatever the company does. Okay, so stay with me and be aware, you know, and you can write this down like, alright, so I'm an analyst first. I'm a retail trader, you know, I'm John, I'm Jane, I'm trying to learn how this market works, and then After the Forex course 101 we have the advanced institutional. Now this is the money phase then. Okay, Forex course 2, it's all about the money, it's all about the business, what tools institutions are using to make money. And by the way, everybody, if you didn't receive the free manual of the Forex course 101, it's for free, doesn't cost you a cent. Just send me an email, alright? You have the email down here, mikefxboss@gmail.com, or connect on Teams. Yeah, we don't have Skype anymore, right? Skype, it's over. So you can connect on Teams, right? It's education, FX passion. Anyway, the manual is for free, everybody. Just send me an email. Ask for the manual. Alright? You can also visit the FX Boss FX website if you want to get the free ebook. You know, where is the ebook? Is this one, the little book of trading secrets with this beautiful guy. And now it's for free. You can check the. And then before we start, everybody, you are going to graduate from this course when number 1, you have your chart set up and ready for trading. We are going to work on this one today. Number 2, you have your strategy in place. You understand why you win, why you lose. And number 3, you have a complete understanding how this market works, so you can analyze the market and make an educated prediction. Risk disclaimer: this stream is not trading or investment advice, everybody. We are here to learn. Alright, and that's it. So let's go to the charts. Alright, so it's lesson number 1 today. You can use any chart you want, everybody. You can use TradingView, you can use JForex, right? You can use whatever you want. Most of you are on TradingView. Okay, so open, everybody, open the monthly chart. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to remove the drawings. AUD first. I'm going to remove the drawings. Okay, everybody. So yes, on TradingView you have different data providers. If you want, I'm using FXCM. I'm not sure this is new and featured. This is new, but I'm using FXCM as a data provider, right? There is no right or wrong. You can use whatever. Just be careful not to, because today we're going to talk about the monthly bands, the technical market structure. Okay. I'm using FXCM, but you can use whatever you want. Just be careful, everybody, because so if we are going to chart the monthly bands on AUD, like, give me a second, something like this, you know, just an example, like this would be the upper band, and down in here somewhere this would be the lower band, you know. But if I go to this one, then I'm going to have a quite well, maybe not. Give me a second. FXCM. So FXCM2 has, you know, data above. Okay, but be careful. Yes, you can confirm with me the monthly bands. Okay. All right. Lesson number 1. What is the technical market structure, everybody? This applies to Forex market only. Right. This doesn't apply to cryptos. At least not yet, doesn't apply to the stock market. This is the specific of the Forex market. Alright, so we're talking about the technical market structure, not the market structure in general. We're not talking about the players, you know, the participants, but the technicals. Alright, if you want to, this is the Douglas pen, courtesy of Douglas, everybody, and Alexander, right, the Mars. So if you want to write down, everybody, trading the Forex market, winning in the Forex market. Now this is how I've learned, right? Winning in the Forex market means that you are going to trade the Forex market 90% technically. If you want to write down, winning the Forex market, you are going to trade, we have fundamentals, we're going to learn about the news, but predominantly 90% of the time you are going to trade what you see on the chart. Alright? 90% of the time the Forex market, it's technical. Okay? We have news announcements, there are fundamentals, different companies do different stuff with the fundamentals, but you as a retail trader, you know, there is no right or wrong anyway. Most of the time, 90%, it's technicals. Yes, fundamentals do matter, absolutely, okay, but every single time when I'm going to call in the office, I'm going to ask you, John, why did you short there? Because the pattern is against you. Jane, why did you buy there? Because you are going against that pattern. This is going to be the conversation. Okay? Now back to business, everybody. The Forex market, if you want to write this down, okay? Now this is a simplistic approach, alright? If you want to dwell deeper into the knowledge, you can read books and everything. So the Forex market is nothing more than a contract between two countries. Alright, everybody? The Forex market, this is the simplistic approach, you can learn then more, but just for you to understand. If you understand this, this is enough. Believe me, I'm pro learning, but for you to make money, that's enough. The Forex market is nothing more than a contract between the two countries, okay? Now, you are looking at AUD CAD, everybody, when the Australian dollar, it's what it's called the base currency, okay? Up in here you have the AUD CAD. I'm not sure if you have up in here, you know, can you see the mouse? I'm moving the mouse. Australian dollar against the Canadian dollar, okay? Now, Australia and Canada, those two countries, just, and everybody, the same goes for all the currency pairs, right? No, gold is not a currency pair, okay? So Australia in one part of the globe and Canada in the other part of the globe, those two countries, they do business. Does this make sense? They partner up, they talk, and nonetheless they want to do business like the common Joe, like a normal human being, and like corporations, companies, okay? We do business, right? We buy and sell. Agreed? Agreed. No, I don't agree. Well, companies buy and sell, right? Whatever company you have or you might work for, the company is going to buy some stuff and is going to sell then the product, right? So countries do the same, everybody. And let's take wood as an example, okay? So Australia has been an island, okay? Just an example. You can type in the chat, you know. Oh yeah, if you have questions, everybody, just type in the chat, alright? So Australia as a country, you know, they're going to say, oh, we are an island and we want to produce houses and tables, you know, and kitchens, but we don't have enough wood, so we need to import, everybody. When you hear about imports, this means that the country is buying, alright? Imports. So Brazil, it's importing, Australia, it's importing, Canada, it's importing, you know, Finland imports. This means the country is buying. So Australia is going to import, is going to buy whatever metric number, you know, like 500,000 cubic meters of wood, whatever, okay? And Australia is looking, okay, should we buy, import, it's buy. Should we buy from Canada? Should we buy from USA? Should we buy from Croatia? Should we buy from Japan? Should we buy from whatever might be the case? And let's say that Australia says, okay, you know, Canada seems cheap, or alright, or it's a good deal. So let's import, let's buy wood from Canada. Alright? So far so good? Any questions? Now, simultaneously, when Australia is buying wood, Canada simultaneously, so Australia is importing, Canada it's exporting. Does this make sense? We're talking about imports and exports. This is the whole base of the Forex market, by the way. Yeah, we have the banks and the hedge funds and the retail traders and investment banks, but the whole premise of the Forex market, you know, it's import and exports. Again, this is a simplistic approach, everybody. If you want to dwell more, like, you can read books, okay? So Australia, you know, it's going to make a deal with Canada, and Canada is going to export, sell AUD. Australia is going to import, you know, is going to buy, all right? Again, it's an example because, you know, on the other side, Canada says, well, our honey, it's not that good, or we need more honey, whatever, you know. And they said, well, we in Australia, we have the Hanukkah honey, it's a special bee that produces a special honey, and so on. And long story short, Australia is going to, this time, Australia is going to export, is going to sell the Hanukkah honey to Canada. And Canada is going to buy, is going to import. Okay, so does this make sense? This is on the simple scale. Now, bring your awareness to cars, Japanese cars, Toyota, Honda, Mitsubishi, Nissan, whatever, you know. Korea, I believe it's Hyundai, right? Europe, Italia, Europe, the Ferraris, the Lambos, you know, selling, exporting to other countries, you know. When Italia, which is in the Eurozone, is going to sell, export the Ferraris to USA, what currency pair are going to look? Let's see how smart you are. Let's see how smart you are. If Italia, which is with Italy, I'm talking Italian. If Italy, which is part of the Eurozone, where they have the euro, if Italy is going to export the cars to USA, what currency pair should you look for? Look at import and exports. Type in the chat, everybody, what do you think? Should you look at Canada JPY? Should you look at Euro New Zealand? Or should you look at Euro Dollar? Well, type in the chat, what do you think? In the meantime, everybody, and because countries make deals, you know, then this is the next step, everybody, of understanding, you know, what you're looking at right now, it's called the international trade, okay? When you hear in the news or the journals, you know, whatever, imports and exports, and when you hear international trade, this is what we're talking about. One country doing business with another country. And because countries want this international trade to be stable, they sign a contract that they want to have their currencies. Now this is the big deal now, you know, they want to maintain the value of the respectful currencies in a range. Boss, can you repeat, please? Yes, sir. Because countries are buying and selling from each other, they want to maintain this business stable. Therefore, they want to maintain the value of the respective currencies in a range. Okay? And this is the technical market structure. This is where, oh, teach me how to make money, tell me how to make money, and the strategy, and the drama, and the checklists, you know, and the weekly plan, and everything starts, everybody, lesson number 1, everything starts from the monthly bands. Okay? You are an analyst. Today you're learning that everything, I'm telling you this, you can write, the boss told me that everything starts from the monthly bands. I do. Everything starts from the monthly bands. Alright? It doesn't matter who you are, what you are, if you are new or a seasoned trader, investor, whatever, everything starts from the monthly bands. Okay? Boss, I don't believe you. Alright. We love the non-believers, everybody. At least I do. I love the number. This is the best question ever. I don't believe you. I don't trust you. Okay. So let's check if this stands. All right, everybody. Now, just be careful. Just be aware that, you know, when you look at AUD-CAD, didn't the market hit the, so back in time, right? Didn't the market hit the upper band in 1996 and went down to the lower band in 2000, went back up, sorry about that, went back up to the upper band in 2003, went back down to the lower band in 2008, went back up to the upper band, everybody, in 2012, and now it's slowly, you know, going down, and the next goal, target if you want, is the lower band here. Do we agree on that, everybody? That AUD-CAD moves so far from the upper band to the lower band, from the lower band to the upper band, from the upper band to the lower band, from the lower band to the upper band. Okay, now this is what we also call, it's the long-term direction, the long-term bias. Okay, so one more time, everybody, you as an analyst, you're going to tell your trader, which is you nonetheless, you're a retail, right? You're going to tell the trader, okay, AUD-CAD, to have a better probability, to have a better chance, we're going to check the long-term view, the long-term bias. What is the long-term direction on AUD-CAD? Type in the chat, everybody, buy or go up or sell or go down. What's the answer? Fair enough, and in between the market can do anything it wants, and this is where you lose, right? Don't worry, all the secrets are in the Forex course 202, the advanced institutional trader course. Connect on Teams, everybody. You're going to meet the traders. Okay, women too, we have Melissa, she's doing super cool, super great. Okay, yes, from over the world, everybody. Connect on Teams, you're going to meet the guys. We have from Singapore to Germany to USA, of course, Europe, Australia, Canada. I don't have any, no, Canada not. Canada I don't have. Malaysia, yes. Vincent from Malaysia. Okay, and so on and so on and so on. So if the market hit the upper band on AUD-CAD, now what is going to, we don't know how, alright everybody, you as an analyst, remember this quote, I'm an analyst, and you say to the trader or the manager, I don't know how, meaning higher highs, lower low, whatever, I don't know how, I don't know when, but I do know that this market long term is going to go down to here. Does this make sense? Why? Because countries have contract signed that they want to maintain the international trade stable and they want to maintain the value of the respected currencies in a range. That's the logic. Does this make sense, everybody? Type in the chat, yeah, it makes sense, or type in the chat, no, it doesn't make sense, this is voodoo magic, whatever. Okay? And before we check technically the other currency pairs, everybody, for you to understand, okay, you have Australia and Canada, okay, what if we take, as an example, what if we take Japan, like cars would be a great example, Japan, or, okay, let's stay on AUD-CAD, alright? Then we're going to, it's the same mentality, the same reasoning, alright? Now, because AUD, we have AUD-CAD, this means that Australian dollar is the base currency, alright? So when AUD-CAD is going down, what do you think it's happening simultaneously to those two currencies? Down at the lower band, do you think that AUD is the cheapest and Canada the more expensive, the Canadian dollar, or do you believe that down in here Australian dollar is the most expensive and the Canadian dollar is the cheapest? How does this work? Boss, I don't understand. The chart that you're looking at, it's called the price action chart on a currency pair. Okay? You are looking simultaneously at Australian dollar and Canadian dollar. So when this chart moves up and down, those two currencies simultaneously gains or lose value. Does this make sense? Simultaneously. When AUD goes down for a pip, Canada gets value for a pip because AUD is the base currency. Make sense? So no, it doesn't make sense. Okay, it's new knowledge, right? So AUD CAD, just an example, when the chart is going down, lower lows, lower highs, this means that the AUD is losing value and Canada is gaining value, right? And when AUD CAD goes up, higher highs, higher lows, simultaneously AUD is gaining value and Canada is losing value. Alright? Okay, alright. Now, is anybody here who likes chocolate? Do you love chocolate, whatever chocolate? Everybody, give me a second. Let's ask ChatGPT. Give me a second. We're going to ask ChatGPT. Let's have some fun. What is the best chocolate in Canada? Let's see what chat is going to answer. Canada chocolate scene. The best chocolates. Soma. Wow, top Canadian chocolate brands. Soma. Chocolate maker, alright. Rogers. Soma, Rogers, Soma, alright, Soma. Thank you very much, chat. Okay, so just an example. Just an example. Okay, so the best chocolate in Canada, it's Soma, like it's delicious, you know, right? So you're Australia, you live in Australia, just an example. It works the same for all the goods, everybody, you know. So you live in Australia, all right, and you are importing, you're buying Soma chocolate from ChatGPT. You're importing Soma chocolate from Canada. Okay, now this is the second step. Step number one, the understanding that countries have a contract, they're importing and exporting, they're buying and selling, they want to maintain the international trade stable, therefore they want to have the value of their respective currencies in a range. Step number one, alright? Now step number two, if I'm buying Soma chocolate from Canada, so Canada is selling to me, when I buy, should I pay Canada in Australian dollars or should I pay Canadians in the Canadian dollar? What do you think? Type in the chat. Boss, can you repeat the question? If I'm Australia and I'm importing, I'm buying Soma chocolate from Canada, tons and tons of chocolate. So I need to pay Canada, right? I'm a buyer. Canada is a seller, I'm a buyer, I'm Australia. Am I going to pay Canada with my currency, the Australian dollar, or I'm going to pay Canada with their currency, the Canadian dollar? Anybody on YouTube too? What do you think? Type in the chat. Canadian dollar or Australian dollar? What do you think? This is the second step in understanding lesson number one. What is the technical market structure? How this market works, the whys, and everything. Okay, so the answer is, everybody have another platform, you know, so the answer is, if I'm Australia and I'm importing, I'm buying, I am going to pay the Canadians with the Canadian dollar, right? Does it make sense? but I'm Australia and I'm thinking, but I don't have Canadian dollars. So how can I pay Canada with the Canadian dollars when I don't have the Canadian dollars? And the answer is, I need to buy the Canadian dollars, right? Does this make sense? I cannot pay, I mean, I can, but now, did anybody travel around the world so far? Is anybody on YouTube who traveled around the world, like just the next country? I'm based in Brazil today, tomorrow might be another story, but I'm in Brazil so far. And when we go to Chile or Paraguay or Uruguay, so those are Argentina, and, you know, the different countries, you know, as a tourist, or if I go to Europe, when I go to Europe, you know, and I'm a tourist, and I'm bringing the currency in Brazil, which is the Brazilian real, and I'm bringing this Brazilian real to Europe. They're using euros. What can I do with the Brazilian real in Europe? Can I buy chocolate, ice cream, bread with the Brazilian real in Europe? Exactly, the answer is no, I can't. If somebody lives in Europe, everybody, where are you from, guys? Type in the chat, if you would be so kind. Where are you from? Nigeria, Philippines, Europe. Alright, great. So if you are in Europe and you have the euros and you travel to the USA, example, can you buy stuff with your euros? Exactly, you can't. Does it make sense, everybody? So a country like Australia, in this example, needs to pay Canada for the imports. They need to pay in Canadian dollars, but they don't have the Canadian dollars in the bank, you know, or in the wallet, whatever you want to say, you know, or argument. Why? Because there are, you know, it's like, yeah, it's not a conversation, everybody. Of course you can, you know, I have euros and a few dollars and a peso. It's not the conversation, but, you know, let's say that you are buying a house in a different country. You need to buy their currency. Make sense? Alright, so Australia must pay Canada with the Canadian dollars, and Canada, vice versa, must pay Australia with the Australian dollars. Now, they don't have enough. They must have a little bit, you know, but they don't have enough, so those two countries must buy. Make sense? They need to change, right? This is why the term Forex exchange, right? Forex exchange markets. You're exchanging one currency for the other. Okay? So step number 2 is the understanding that Australia must pay Canada with Canadian dollars. Example. Now, remember, I'm Australia and I'm looking at this chart like any importer and exporter, you know, and I'm thinking, oh, I need to pay Canada. And now, if we zoom in the chart, you know, and say, all right, now I am, well, this doesn't show the, so I'm here, right? So I'm here on the chart, and yes, this is the simplistic approach, lesson number 1, not to get too complicated. But I can see as Australia that AUD cat, so that Australian dollar, it's losing value. Make sense, everybody? Compared to the Canadian dollar. So we are down in here, okay? And I'm thinking, should I buy the Canadian dollar now, or should I wait the chart to go down to here and buy the Canadian dollar, or should I wait and go up in here and here to buy the Canadian dollar? Does this make sense? Just an example. No, this is not a strategy, come on. Okay? So, one more time, it's the first lesson. Type in the chat, everybody, if you have any questions. So when the market comes down to here to the lower band, this is where the Australian dollar is going to be the cheapest and the Canadian dollar the more expensive. So down in here, you know, there is no right or wrong, you know. Yeah, they have terms, and oh, I need to pay the bill until December the 10th, whatever. But down in here, if I'm buying the Canadian dollars with the Australian dollar, this is going to be where the Canadian dollar is the most expensive, and vice versa too. Up in here, it's where the Canadian dollar is going to be the least expensive, and the Australian dollar, and I'm Australian in this example, is going to be the strongest. Does this make sense? This is how importers and exporters look and address the charts. Caterpillar, Boeing, Toyota, Mitsubishi, whatever. Alright? So you want to buy, the currency pair has a value, so you want to, exactly, it's buying like different stuff. You want to buy 10,000 pens, and you want to buy, you know, at the cheapest price possible. Does this make sense? So the same goes with the currencies. So if I'm Australia, I'm going to wait, or up in here, I'm going to buy Canadian dollars, and then I'm going to pay. Why? Because up in here, my currency, and I'm Australia, is the strongest, and Canada is the cheapest, right? I'm trying to get it not complex to everybody, but somebody's typing in the other stream platform, yeah, my head it's hurting. You know, hopefully it's not. Anyway, download the recording, rewatch it a few times. Alright? Ask questions, send me emails with questions. Okay, now, what happens, everybody, what happens if I'm Australia and remember down in here the Canadian dollar is the most expensive, Australian dollar is the cheapest. What happens if this market, if price action gets out of the range too much? What happens? It doesn't matter, everybody, it doesn't matter where you live, it doesn't matter. Did you notice that some products that you used to consume got more expensive? Type in the chat. The coffee that was 90 or 1 in December, the same coffee that was 90 something, pesos, real, whatever, euros, the same coffee which is imported in your country, the same coffee, it's now 130. It's the same coffee. Or the coffee that cost €1, 1 peso, 1 real, $1, now it's 1.5. This coffee is imported. Make sense? When the two currencies get too much out of the range, this is where most likely, now it's politics, this is where you're going to hear the term bank intervention. It's politics, the politicians are basically the CEO, the CFO of a company, the president of the company, and they say, wait, we need to get the international trade with Canada or AUD back into the range. Okay, because if this current, now, is anybody here from Switzerland? The CHF pairs? Switzerland, it's in a big trouble right now. Well, what do you mean, boss? Calm down, no panic. Switzerland, has big problems with exports because the CHF, the Switzerland currency, the Switzerland franc, it's out of the range on most of the pairs. So the whole world, you know, the chocolate named Lindt, delicious chocolate from Switzerland, you know, the exports dropped 30, 40. You can research then the internet, everybody. Exports from Switzerland the last 2-3 years are just going down and down and down. You know, they're trying to cover this with quality, but if you're too expensive, you're too expensive. Okay, you're not going to pay $100 for a bar of chocolate when it used to cost 10. Yeah, I'm exaggerating, of course, it's just an example. Does this make sense? So when the currency pairs go out of the range, then this is going to be problematic for the country because they're going to export less. Why? Because your currency is too expensive. Maybe everybody, you have some friends and family who used to travel and now they don't travel anymore. Maybe you can relate to this. Why not? Too expensive. We went to USA for 5 years. This year we don't go anymore. Why not? Dollar too expensive. We used to go to Europe. We are not going to Europe anymore. Why not? Euro too expensive. Japan, the yen too expensive. Can you relate to this, everybody? Does this make sense? This is what this market, when you are trading it, this is what you are talking about. Okay? Now, before we finish the lesson for today, let's see if this strange guy called Mike the Boss, know what he's talking about, right? Now remember, this is how this market works. This is the technical market structure. Those are the monthly bands, all right? Everything starts from the monthly band. So, and homework until tomorrow. Build homework, everybody. Boss, I don't like homeworks. You are in a freaking course. It's for free. Do the homework. I'm looking for traders, everybody. It's not a joke. Connect with me on Teams. Send me an email. It's not a joke. We're looking for traders. I have 2 institutions which I'm partnering up. And they are looking for traders. I'm the 3rd one, but those 2 are the filter. Before you come to me, you need to go to them, everybody. Okay? Real institutions. Okay? But they don't advertise this online. Oh, we don't have any traders, please come work for us. Doesn't work like this, right? Anyway, this is a conversation for another time. Homework. Build your monthly bands on the monthly chart. Alright? So that being said, everybody, let's open AUD-CHF. Alright? Can you see, everybody, what happens on AUD-CHF? There are no monthly bands, see? And I'm going to help you be aware of the CHF. So AUD, Australia, AUD CAT, monthly bands, check, alright. AUD-CHF, AUD, it's in the toilet with compared to the Switzerland franc, it's here. No monthly band so far. CHF, it's the most expensive currency so far. Okay, now we move forward. AUD-JPY, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You can see, everybody, AUD-JPY, the Japanese yen. So you can see, everybody, that the market hit the lower band, went to the upper band, hit the upper band, lower band, upper band, lower band, upper band, lower band, and hit the last time the upper band. If you want to make some no-brainer money, everybody, you're an analyst and this is a course. Okay, remember this disclaimer, this is not trading or investment advice. But the market was up in here. Can you see this huge bearish candle? This fall was predictable. Dear students, interns, it was predictable, everybody. So, tomorrow we're going to open an account. I'm going to open a demo account for this year. I'm going to name it Forex Course 101 2025 edition, and we're going to trade the demo account, alright? So if you want to do some demo trades, everybody, short AUD-JPY and put the stop loss up in here somewhere, doesn't really matter. Okay, why? Because we are trading, we are playing the monthly bands. Okay, just an example. But do we agree, everybody, that AUD-CAT, it's ranging between the monthly bands? AUD-CHF not. AUD-JPY, it's ranging in between the monthly bands, yes? Type in the chat yes, type in the chat no. AUD-NZD, it's a little bit different. So we have 3 exceptions to the rule, everybody. AUD NZD, the bigger band, it's up in here, but so far the market participants, you know, the banks, the importers, exporters, also the countries, you know, the price action, it's in between those two bands, alright? So starting from 2014 to 2010 years, we are ranging in here. This is the range that you are going to trade, okay, not the big one, the small one. Moving forward, AUD USD, can you see everybody? Do we agree that the market is ranging on the in between the monthly bands? And be careful not to mistake, oh, if you put this one like this, oh, this is the lower band, then your long-term bias, the long-term direction, as an analyst, you would say, oh, buy, no, 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 no. This will be a mistake. The lower band is down in here. AUD USD is going to go long-term down to here somewhere. Remember to say to your trader, to your manager, I don't know how, I don't know when, but long term, remember everybody, the market in between can do anything it wants, but long term is going to hit the lower band, not the upper band. Okay, Canada CHF, remember I told you the CHF, no band, Canada JPY, beautiful, beautiful. Do we agree everybody? Import and export, the Forex market is nothing more than a contract between the two countries. Guess where Canada JPY as a currency pair is headed long term? Is this that difficult everybody? Type in the chat. Yeah, it's difficult to understand. No, it's not difficult. Build your monthly bands is the homework. Now another CHF. So AUD CHF, no monthly bands. Canada CHF, no monthly bands. CHF JPY, no monthly bands. See how Switzerland is in trouble, everybody, in terms of exports. Switzerland is desperate to, Japan, would you buy? No, you're too expensive. Australia, would you buy? You're too expensive, Switzerland. Canada, would you buy? You are too expensive, Switzerland. Does this make sense? Oh, we have the best chocolate. You're too expensive. I'm going to buy soba from Canada, not going to buy Lindt from Switzerland. You are too expensive, Switzerland franc. And if you are more advanced, everybody, like we have Heraldo, our best analyst, which makes in Portuguese. Heraldo said lately that the president of the Switzerland bank made a statement that they are going to intervene because they want to see a cheaper Switzerland franc. Of course, look at the value, I mean, you know. Moving forward, Euro AUD, beautiful. Can you see everybody? Euro AUD, lower band somewhere, upper, well, this will be more, sometimes it is subject to interpretation, everybody, you know. So, I would leave space in here, right? And this is why the markets, it's kind of moving up, so if you have the monthly band like this, then the long-term bias again would be down. Alright, so yes, you can send me an email if you have doubts. Everybody, send me an email and type, boss, would you be so kind and check my monthly bands? Alright, send me pictures so I can tell you, alright, move it a little bit up or down, or it's okay, because it is, you know, it's an area, right? It's not, no, monthly bands are not lines to the pip. Be very aware, those are areas. Okay, don't put a line, put a rectangle like this. Okay, be very careful. Euro AUD, Euro CAD, same story. Can you see Euro CAD? Monthly bands? Can you see in here, everybody? It almost touched the lower band, and now where it's heading? Well, yeah, sure enough, we have also consolidations inside consolidation. This is another lesson for another day, but today it's monthly bands. All right, again CHF, Euro CHF, and everybody talking about countries and contracts. Research the internet and, you know, go on Google, everybody, and type Euro CHF, Euro CHF flash crash. How the billion Euro CHF flash crash happened. This happens, everybody, when countries break the contracts. Okay, I'm not going to waste time because we have a limited time. This is where the two countries, it doesn't matter who did what, this is what happens when countries break contracts. This flash crash, it wiped out, I don't remember, it was 16,000 or 60,000. I don't remember. Check the internet, everybody. It was a huge number. Let's say 16,000. This flash crash wiped out, bankrupt 16,000 brokers, hedge funds, and a few investment banks. They lost all the savings, all the money, everything. Because when this happens, the price action gets so quick. I don't want to get too technical, but for you buy something, right, and you have a stop loss down here, make sense? When the market goes against you, for you to get stopped out, meaning for you to lose, somebody else must win. This is another conversation for another time, I know. But if because talking about trading, we are interconnected in a network. Make sense, everybody? It's called the liquidity network. So the orders must match. Buy must match a sell when you profit take or where you are stopped out. But when the market crashes, you know, the volume of the orders is too big. So even if you had the stop, you were not stopped out on that level. And countless people and countless companies lost all the accounts, all the savings, lawsuits on the line. It was a massacre. Okay, that's why Forex trading is dangerous, and they tell you don't over leverage. When it's time for you to get into the business, not yet. You need to prove yourself that you know what you do, have a track record of minimum 6 months on demo account. Then you go to brokers and investment banks that have the so-called segregated accounts for the safety. Because we live in a dangerous world, right? We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Okay, everybody? Yeah, you can research this. Okay. Now, Euro CHF, Euro GBP. Euro GBP, everybody. Euro GBP, it's like AUD, NZD. It's the second currency pair which is an exception to the rule, because the market is ranging inside those two monthly bands. Okay, Euro JPY, beautiful, beautiful. Monthly bands, upper band, lower band. Can you see, everybody, how this market works? Upper band, lower band. Okay, are you convinced, everybody? High, upper band, lower band, upper band, lower band, upper band. Are you convinced, everybody? Type in the chat. Yes, I'm convinced. Type in the chat. No, I'm not convinced. So one more time. AUD CAT, monthly bands. AUD JPY, monthly bands. AUD NZD, monthly bands. AUD USD, monthly bands. CHF NOT, Canada JPY, monthly bands. CHF NOT, Euro AUD, monthly bands. Euro CAT, monthly bands. Euro CHF, no. Euro GBP, a little bit different, but still monthly bands. Euro JPY, monthly bands. Okay, USD JPY. What do you think is going to happen? up in here. Now, there are no guarantees. It's a probability profession. What do you think is going to happen up in here 7 times out of 10? Do you believe this market is going to go up and go break everything, or do you believe that 7 times out of 10 is going to start to gravitate down? Type in the chat, otherwise we're going to talk about this tomorrow. I'm going to leave you, everybody, with Euro JPY. So your homework is to identify the long-term view on Euro New Zealand. I'm going to ask you tomorrow, okay, what is the long-term bias, long-term view on Euro New Zealand, Euro Dollar, GBP AUD, Fibonacci is out, next time, GBP CAD, GBP CHF, GBP JPY, GBP NZD, GBP USD, NZD CAD, this is from the Portuguese lesson, NZD CHF, NZD JPY, I'm showing you already, NZD USD, and USD CAD. Alright? Enough for today. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, everybody. If you find value, can I be honest with you guys? Really, how can I say this not to get misinterpreted? I hope you like me as a teacher, as a coach, you know, but if you don't, if you find value in the lesson, give it a like on YouTube. You're going to help me find more traders, okay, more people that are interested in becoming a trader, professional trader in a few years. You're first an analyst. If you're a newbie, right? If you are completely new, you don't know anything about anything, you know, it's going to take you 3 years, 4 years, 5 years on average, okay? And remember, Forex course 101, it's all about the market. Forex course 202, it's all about the business. And again, if you didn't receive the free manual, courtesy of Shola and Ernesto, back in time, it has some mistakes in English, everybody. It was Google Translator. Okay, send me an email, boss, send me the free manual. All right, thank you for your time. Send me questions on the email, everybody, and see you back tomorrow. All right, until tomorrow, stay strong and trade like a boss. Never forget, you're the boss of your own account. This is the boss signing off. See you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye.